the logical approach does not point towards us coming from nothing. It doesn't point towards us coming from chaos. It's statistically impossible. Almost everyone, including Christians, answers this completely wrong. Who created God? The surprising part isn't the answer, it's why the question isn't what people really think it is. Everything that begins has to have a cause. Existence itself is a starting point in space, time, and matter. Even atheists believe that something exists eternally. Either God is eternal or the universe is eternal. Now, here's the question that no one asks. Which of these two actually explain reality better? There's one reason this changes everything: necessary being. So that's why God doesn't need a creator. People think that they disprove God because they say, oh, who created God? We all understand something has to be the first uncaused cause. The question isn't whether or not you believe that something is eternal, it's whether or not you place your faith in a God being eternal or the universe being eternal. Now, I argue from the position that nothing in this world points to the universe itself being eternal. People who believe in science only and reject God have to place their faith in the universe being eternal because nothing points to that being the actual truth. No matter how much science we've come across, no matter how many tests and research we've done, there's nothing that says, hey, this universe seems to be eternal. Now, a lot of people who are Christians will reject the Big Bang Theory. But the thing is, the Big Bang Theory does not hurt Christianity. If anything, it hurts the eternal universe theory. Because the thing is, it shows that the universe had a starting point, a beginning point. That is what is most likely. So when you look at that, you have to realize, okay, the universe couldn't have caused itself. It's impossible. Nothing causes itself. Now, I love to look at it like this. For God to have been created means that God had to have a starting point, because creation implies a starting time, something that is brought into existence at a certain point and moment in time. Now, we Christians believe that God created space, time, and matter. What is our universe composed of? Space, time, and matter. Therefore, whatever created it has to exist outside of it, not be bound to it. So the problem isn't whether or not God can be eternal or something can be eternal, but it is God the first uncaused cause? Because we can't be living in a designed world without a designer. This universe has so much perfect order to where to believe that it comes from chaos is strictly a belief system that springs from nothing but emotions, because the logical approach does not point towards us coming from nothing. It doesn't point towards us coming from chaos. It's statistically impossible. Everything from gravity to the distance from the sun to the perfect conditions for us to come up in this world is just immaculate, and to ignore it is just a disservice. But people want to be their utmost authority. People want humans to be God. This is why people are seeking themselves to try to be eternal. This is why people themselves try to beat death, because people think that they can become gods. And this is where men fall. This is where Adam and Eve fell, because Satan told them, hey, do you want to be like God? Eat from this tree. Even though God told them they shouldn't. It's either you want to be God or you want to be free from accountability of your sins, of your wrongs. God absolutely exists. There is a higher power. We can get into which one, but to believe that there is no God is a belief system, and it is a very poor, not strong, built on sand and emotional viewpoint. Now, a God absolutely exists. You can reject it, but to reject it is not a logical approach. It's not something that is backed by evidence, not by research. It's purely emotional, and it's sad to see people really cling on to it and act like that is the intellectual superior standpoint, and it's truthfully not. Nothing points to the universe being eternal. Nothing points to there not being a God. The majority of things point towards there being a God. So use your brain, use logic, and don't fall for the lies.